Let's talk about how you can adjust the master slide. If you know how to build out a Google slide, you know how to adjust the master slide. I'm just going to teach you a couple of the additional tips and tricks. And just know that you have to keep a couple of things clear in your head as you're creating master slides, as opposed to just creating everything on the outward facing slide. Let's jump back into that Groundhog's Day activity that I had created for kindergartners to see what I'm talking about. Now, remember how we talked that very little of this activity is editable, at least as far as the students are concerned. If you were to grab a copy of this, and you certainly can, you can edit anything that you want, if you know where to do that. Remember, you can find the master slide by clicking on Slide, Edit Master, and in here, you can happily go through and adjust whatever you want to do. Now, a really awesome thing is if you were to delete this groundhog and you want to find a new one, look what it does to your outward facing slide. It goes ahead and updates it. Now that doesn't pull through if you have already assigned this in your Google Classroom and you've already clicked the Make a Copy. That very much is standing at the copying machine and running it through. However, before you assign it, you can edit to your heart's content. Now, I don't need to get rid of that cute little groundhog. Instead, I'm going to move on to a different area. For example, let's say I needed to adjust the spelling of Groundhog Day. I have this part on the master slide. I could go ahead and add the apostrophe S. And notice out here, looking closely, you can see that it shows the apostrophe S has been added. Now, working with kindergartners, having them do apostrophes is a little bit more than I wanted to tackle in this particular activity, so let's keep moving. If you watched my little bonus tip, you saw that I only gave the students these 4 activities, but I built out several extra. Let's go ahead and create a couple of more math problems on this blank slide here. Now I can see exactly what my math problems were here, so I could go ahead and just take these 4, because all these are text boxes. I'm going to copy these, and I'm going to paste them on this particular slide. In order to edit them, I just have to click in here and change the numbers up. Now notice it has changed this tiny preview here, but it didn't change anything out here, and that's because this slide has not been pre-added to my little thumbnails over there to the left. Anyone making a future copy of this Groundhog's Day activity, these numbers will be in here. But again, when you know the trick of editing the master slide, you can easily come in here and customize these to better fit your students' math abilities. Maybe you want this one to be a subtraction. Change the word addition to subtraction, of course. You could use this for multiplication, division, whatever your math skill is that you're trying to work on. Now, another quick way of adjusting the master slides is you can also select that master slide and use your Control D or Command D keyboard shortcut to quickly duplicate, and you could have a series of math slides in here. That's what I did for these typing activities. I created my first one, and then I duplicated it. You could do this over and over and over again. Something else that's important to note with master slides is you have one ultimate hierarchy parent slide that would carry down through any of these. So notice that I have this one ringed in blue because that's the one I'm editing now. When you look out here to the left, notice that there is one in gold. When I click on the labeling of the groundhog, that one changes to blue, and it tells me which other slides is using this particular master. Watch what happens when I click this master up here. Notice that this one is now ringed in blue, and it carries through all of my slides. Be careful on this. What I could do on here is change the standard font for the titles or for the lower pieces of text. Keep that in mind. This is a great thing to do, but it can get a little scary if you accidentally make the mistake and you're not sure what you did. So the standard is this Arial. What if you wanted to change it to Roboto? If you did that, it would change any of the text boxes on your slide that use this top layer title slide, title text box. You could do the same for each of these if you chose to. Another thing that you might choose to do is if you want some sort of direction or information on your master slide to carry all the way through on all of your slides. It's possible, but for most student activities, it's not necessary. I would say on 90% of my slides, I simply leave this master slide alone. I don't touch it, I don't edit, I just leave it there. One final tip that I want to share as far as editing your master slide is the standard colors. Once you are in the Slide Master view, you can click on the palette up here, and these are going to be your theme colors. I like to use the simple, light, pretty just bare bones template as far as theme goes. But what you can do is you can change the different colors here. If you really don't like this teal color, as far as when you place a hyperlink, click on it and change it. Anything that you've embedded as a link will change to this color. Don't like this neon-y yellow? Go in and change it to a soft orange. Again, play around with this, but don't feel tied to it because you can always come out here and change colors of text and fonts as you choose. It's just one more added benefit of creating bigger slide decks using the master slide. There's so much more to the master slide that I can't possibly pack it into one quick video. Don't be afraid to explore the master. Use these tips and tuck them into your Tech You Can Do bag and use them when you create activities for your students. Do you have questions? Feel free to type them in the comments below and I'll respond to them, but hopefully our PLN can also respond to them. Anyone watching this video, help us out. See you again soon.